All right, today we are looking at lesson 91, which is talking about evaluation with positive and negative numbers. And really the key part here is understanding how our terms fit in and making sure that we are grouping them correctly so that we are solving correctly, which of course is always a good thing when you solve correctly. So let's go ahead and figure out this problem. If you're given an equation that says x minus x times y minus y, solve this problem if x equals -2 and y equals -3. So what we need to do is we need to establish this problem and set it up. So since x equals -2, we're going to start with -2. I'm going to throw some parentheses around there just like that. Next, I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to subtract a -2 times a -3. And then, of course, in the end, I'm going to subtract a -3. So we have this idea. Now, to continue on with this problem, we've got to make sure that our symbols are not getting confused and we're following correct order of operations. So we're going to start with multiplication because multiplication, of course, is going to come first. -2 times -3. Right? We're just going to take our numbers 2 and 3 and we're going to multiply them together and get an answer of 6. Because it's the same sign, we're going to end up with a positive 6. So our new problem says -2 minus positive 6 minus a -3. Now, of course, we continue using order of operation. We solve this problem. So -2, and we want to group, create, right, put those symbols together. So we turn to algebraic addition. So the opposite of positive 6 is -6. So -2 plus -6. Absolute values, same signs. Same signs means add them together. 2 plus 6 gives me an answer of 8. Since the sign is the same, it stays the same. All right, moving on then. Now we have this minus and this symbol just like that. And from here, of course, we want to now do algebraic addition again. By doing algebraic addition again, we're going to group like this, make this a plus sign. So -8 plus the opposite of -3. The opposite of -3 is positive 3, and so I can put that 3 there. From here, I can solve. I'm going to come over here and solve the problem. Absolute value of both, absolute value of 8 is 8, absolute value of 3 is 3. And because the signs are different, we have a negative and we have, this technically is a positive, we're going to subtract them. 8 minus 3 gives me an answer of 5. And because 8 is the larger number, larger absolute value, we're going to take that symbol and get a final answer of -5. All right, so this process really helps us solve problems. And from here, it can also show us how we can check work or justify work by looking at this and plugging numbers in. Example 2 says that Nikki says that the solution of the equation 3x plus 5 equals -1. She says that x is equal to -2. Show how Nikki can check her work. So here's our equation. Plus 5 equals -1. So how are we going to check this? Well, she says that her final answer was this. So what we want to do is we're going to plug that in. 3 equals -2 plus 5. And in the end, we should get an answer of -1. So once we've solved everything on the left side of the equations, so everything over here, we should come away with an answer of -1. So following order of operation, we're going to take positive 3 times -2. 3 times 2 is 6, and we have a positive 3 and a negative, and when it's different symbols, negative always wins. From here, we're going to add a positive 5, right? Absolute values say that we're going to take 6 and 5, and because they are different symbols, we're going to subtract, get an answer of 1, and because 6 has the larger absolute value, we're going to take its symbol and come away with -1. So -1 equals -1. Was Nikki correct? Of course. And we just double checked our work by plugging x back in to the equation to see if our answer was correct. And of course, it was. That was nice. Your turn now. Here's your sample. It says negative x plus y minus yx. Go ahead and solve this problem if x equals 3 and y equals negative 4. That's it for lesson 91.